Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today, we're going to delve into a topic that's close to my heart and, I believe, important for all of us who share this planet. We're going to talk about designing for wildlife, about creating a habitat for birds, butterflies, and other beneficial creatures right in our own backyards. Let's start with a simple question. Why should we design for wildlife? The answer is quite straightforward. As urbanization spreads, natural habitats are shrinking, and many species are struggling to survive. By creating a wildlife-friendly environment in our gardens, we can provide a sanctuary for these creatures and contribute to biodiversity. Plus, there's something incredibly rewarding about watching a garden come alive with the flutter of wings, the chirping of birds, and the buzzing of bees. So how do we go about creating such a habitat? The first step is understanding the needs of wildlife. All creatures, big and small, need 4 basic things: food, water, shelter, and a place to raise their young. Let's start with food. Different animals have different dietary needs. Birds, for instance, may feed on insects, seeds, berries, or nectar. Butterflies, on the other hand, require nectar, producing flowers for the adults and specific host plants for their caterpillars. By planting a variety of native plants that produce seeds, berries, and nectar throughout the year, we can provide a steady food source for a range of creatures. Next, we have water. A simple bird bath can provide drinking and bathing water for birds. For butterflies, consider creating a butterfly puddle by filling a shallow dish with sand and water. This not only provides them with water, but also with essential minerals. Shelter is another critical aspect. Many birds and insects find shelter in trees, shrubs, and tall grasses. Dead trees or snags can also provide nesting sites for birds and bats and serve as a food source for insects. Creating a rock pile or a log pile can provide shelter for small mammals and reptiles. The fourth element is a place to raise young. For birds, this could be a nest box or a dense shrub. For butterflies, it's their host plants where they lay their eggs and where their caterpillars feed. For bees, it could be a bee hotel with small tubes or holes where they can lay their eggs. Now, while these 4 elements are essential, there are other factors to consider as well. One is avoiding the use of pesticides. Pesticides can harm beneficial insects and can make their way up the food chain, affecting birds and other wildlife. Instead, consider using organic methods to control pests. Another factor is providing a variety of habitats. Different creatures prefer different habitats. Some birds prefer open spaces, while others prefer dense cover. Some butterflies prefer sunny spots, while others prefer shade. By creating a variety of habitats, you can attract a wider range of species. Lastly, consider the size and connectivity of your garden. Larger gardens can support more wildlife, but even small gardens can make a difference if they're well designed. Connectivity is also important. If your garden is connected to other gardens or to a natural area, it can serve as a stepping stone for wildlife, helping them move across the landscape. Designing for wildlife is not just about creating a haven for creatures. It's also about creating a space that brings us closer to nature, that helps us understand and appreciate the intricate web of life that we're a part of. It's about creating a space that nourishes our souls, that brings us joy and peace, and that reminds us of our responsibility towards this beautiful planet we call home. So, dear listeners, I encourage you to take a step towards designing for wildlife. Start small, perhaps with a bird feeder or a butterfly garden. Observe, learn, and gradually expand your efforts. Remember, every little bit helps. And who knows, you might just find that in helping wildlife, you're also helping yourself. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to our next exploration together. Until then, keep nurturing nature and let nature nurture you. Goodbye and take care. End of podcast.